And welcome back to the 33rd Southeast Asian Games here in Bangkok. We hope you enjoyed the lunch break because the action is about to pick right back up as we move into the next crucial matchup of the day. As Philippines, coming off a tight, hard-fought battle against Singapore earlier this morning, will try to get their first win. I'm sure they're hungry to claim their first win of the tournament and reset their campaign. And definitely on the other side, Indonesia steps in to look to build some momentum after a challenging start to chase their same victory. My name is Jonathan Santos. Going with me is Jared, and love to have you again here. The second half of this round of games here.
Yeah, how about this for a way to start a tournament? Indonesia's got to face Singapore and then Philippines. A very, very difficult starting two games. But for Indonesia, it's all about learning. Happy to be here and are excited to get better against these very, very good teams.
We talked about it earlier with Indonesia, right? Just had only 3 months to build up their program, so I'm sure they're excited to join and now try to find their first dub as they start on the offensive line. Indonesia, number 27, Nanda, gives it to Helen. And the stoppage of play momentarily.
If Indonesia goes ahead and continues their trend from the first game, they are going to look to get the disc in the air. They are fearless. They have very good athletes on this team, and they don't want to be caught just throwing the disc around. They want to get the disc in the air and get it to their athletes.
Here's number 23, Amanda. So float right into number 27's hands, Nanda Jalil. Gives it number 23, Amanda Lulardari, shoots it in for Indonesia's first pour in this game.
Is the cap on? Is it too early to call this one over, pretty much? Indonesia takes their first lead of the tournament. Fantastic. Great way to work the disc down. They look absolutely loose. They had a real tough first game, but they look loose. They look like they're having fun. And there's no better way than to come out right after the break and score a point.
That score is brought to you by Dominicus Krishna Comparsa, being able to get the first score here for Indonesia. Comparsa is actually 25 years of age. Definitely loves to go deep for those hawk plays. Play for Nagarama, and Happy is also a law student at that, so being able to find the balance of studying for law school and play high-level ultimate is such a great feat for this person.
Oh yeah, we also saw Jalil Nanda at that point. He was very active in their first game, even though they only put 1 point on the board that whole game. He was very active, getting a lot of touches, and I think we're going to be saying that name a whole lot during this battle.
You're in Indonesia, that's the start that you will like to build off some momentum. You see, as Philippines will look to get their first score and first win. A little bit of loose marking being shown by Indonesia. It looks to see if they can adjust and tighten up their defense there.
Oh, I don't know. It's a little bit clammy. It's a little bit clammy here, a little bit poachy. I'm still figuring it out myself, and I think the Philippines are in the same boat as us right now, taking their time. And this is what they want to do. They want to take their time, figure out what they're playing against. The Philippines are also still getting better. They're still looking to get better, still fill in the gaps, trying to improve and get ready and work towards the medal rounds.
Here is Ramos, gives it back to Peralta. Great 1-2 movement between the Philippine players. Here's Chua. Chua floats it in to the Humas for the score. Ties the game at 1-1.
Yeah, even though they were able to work through that Indonesian defense, I am absolutely fine with Indonesia trying something new, because they're going into this, they're knowing that it's going to be really tough for them to go ahead and match up Philippines player versus player. So if they can try to create a little bit of chaos, I like it. Philippines were able to work through it there, and especially working through Chua. Second most experienced player on the team after Christian. It just seemed like in their first game against Singapore, if they ever needed to settle things down, if they ever needed the right thing done, it was going to go through Chua. And right off the bat, they're going through her again. Not a big surprise.
Able to see if there's going to be some changes in Philippines defense. Try to give a different look and try to test out, because they'll have the most number of games in today's day one. They'll have one more game after this, as they'll play the last game against the home favorite Thailand, obviously. So we'll see how this goes for the Philippines team, but sporting that bright blue jersey. You see a couple of players that are going to join this D-line.
Disc flies out of bounds. We're going to head to the brick mark. Brick mark is located, I believe it's 25 meters in front of the goal line. Advantage to the receiving team to be able to play from the middle of the field, upfield a good ways, so people try to keep the pull inbounds, but sometimes that doesn't quite happen.
There's Amanda Lunardi who start for Indonesia. Amanda Lunardi gets it back. Indonesia showing a horizontal stack to start for their second point of the O-line. Here's Helen Fabrina. For options. These female matching players is doing the handler duties for Indonesia. Love to see that from Indonesia. Number 27, Nanda Jalil. Gives it back to Helen Fabrina. Looking for options. Great movement from Indonesia, being patient and good timing. And you see that forehand hawk is going to be denied by number 11, number 1, Butil. And hopefully si Dante, number 5, Suetanto is okay as he springs back up. So look back at the replay with that amazing block from Butil.
Yeah, very, very awkward, but he had the great balance and footwork to be able to go and pick that up. That was ballet right there.
Here's Hortelano. Puts it right in to his teammate. Hortelano gets it back with an upline cut. You see a lot of switching and poaching from the Indonesian D-line. Rebusa to Butil. Way to the other side to Sumbi. Gets it back right here and gives it back to Butil.
Let's see how the Philippines attacks this red zone offense right here. We've shown so far how important it is, and there it is, very patient, taking the easiest throw possible, put it into the absolute gut of your receiver.
You can see a full display of the speed and athleticism of the Philippines there, just taking full advantage of how agile they can be.
But Indonesia that time, with the offense, did what they needed to do. They put the disc downfield. You know, without a very athletic, graceful defensive play on the other end, you know, they might be up 2-1 themselves. I like what I'm seeing from Indonesia so far. The Philippines are strong. Philippines are just strong. This is going to be a tough matchup for Indonesia, but they're looking good so far.
Okay, break point converted by the Philippines. Methodically bringing the disc back to the attacking end zone.
We're seeing the back of Nathania Frito right there, and she wants everyone to know that she is a rock star. So check her band or check her out solo. I'm not exactly sure which one, but she rocks.
You're saying there's an echo on the mic?
All right. Indonesia tries to work it up and are just not able to connect on the cross field right there.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Tendu's not able to pull it up. Hammer goes cross field right into the gut right at the gut receiver right there. Not much the Indonesian defense could do about that. Too much open space. And a massive counterattack right there.
Guerrero with an amazing hammer throw to Villanueva to give Philippines their third point.
Very relaxed motion there. It's almost like Christian's done that before.
You'd like to think in the X amount of years he's played, I feel that he has perfected that craft already. But yes, looks so simple for him already.
All right, we got a timeout on the field. I'll tell you one thing I want to see from the Philippines is one player that had a really rough first game was Lamigo. She did not have the best game that she's ever had. I think they're going to want to get her kind of off the snide a little bit, to get her some touches. She had a couple turnovers in that first game, and she is such a valuable asset for them. And if they do happen to play Singapore again, with that Singapore kind of poachy offense, they're going to really need her to contribute. So I can see the Philippines trying to work to Lamigo this game a good bit to try to get her into the rhythm of play.
Understandable. I'm sure that they will be able to regroup, especially for Lamigo for sure. Trying to get more reps in and try to focus on more. But again, props to the Singapore defense really to be forced out the Philippines out of their normal nature there. So I think probably we'll see how they can recover from this game. But looks like so far with a 2-point lead against Indonesia, they're having a great start and recovery from that last game.
And just for a clarification, right now we are in a heat break. We forgot to tell you that heat breaks will be enforced this game. After the 4th and the 10th point, there will be an extra 3-minute break added because we've exceeded 32 degrees Celsius. And that's hot to be running around out there. So they give the players a little bit of an extra break. It's about player safety. It's about keeping everyone upright, because that is our biggest concern. The game clock still runs nonetheless, and they are coming out back to the field.
You notice there from the coaches from Indonesia, I could sense that they truly believe that they're in this game. I mean, I think given that how they started being able to get that first point, I think urging that belief that, hey, we're part of these nations that are competing for the gold medal. I mean, everyone has a chance. As cliche as it sounds, the disc is round, so that anything can go either way. So, love to see that fighting spirit from Indonesia.
Indonesia has some very high-quality players on this team. Budi plays a college ultimate in the States. Chris Comparsa. We are seeing Jalil Nanda just up there getting a lot of touches. They do have some quite good players on this team. And Philippines are going to have to keep their level up to make sure they're able to hold this team off. Nonetheless, Indonesia is, once again, as we talked earlier, they are very happy to be here. The road has been difficult. It's an expensive trip up. They just became registered. They come from all over the world, the UK, the US, Australia, playing all over the place. They come from numerous islands. They come from Bali, they come from Java, and even Papa. We'll get to JJ's story later on. Poll is about to go up.
I was just going to say, but yes, I think Poll is going to go up. But yeah, some good spirits from the nation really being able to send the team here. And it's really what really stands about Indonesia is their grounded mindset, right? They're setting their expectations conservatively. For them, this SEA Games is about more than medals. It's about putting ultimate on the map in Indonesia, proving that the sport belongs in this stage.
And just to close that point out, I did talk to the coaches right after the Singapore game, and they were all smiles, absolutely happy about their performance, happy with their improvement, and really happy to be here. So they definitely embody the spirit of what this tournament's about.
Layout attempt, no good. Let's try to keep that disc alive for Indonesia. And here is Philippines again with another break opportunity. Saludes. Gives it to Rebusa. Dumps it to Hortelano. Hortelano initiates a lateral cut. changes his mind and opts to a backhand pass to number 27, Leila Ban for the score.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. The patience on the Philippine side on the end zone, taking 100% passes, making sure that when they get the disc in that area, they are converting their points. We've seen so far in this tournament that games are won and lost in the efficiency in red zone offense. So I think they may think that that's a little too close for comfort right there, having to tiptoe along the sideline. But I guess if you are in, you are in, whether by inches or miles.
Oh, that is Leila Aban, number 27. Wasn't sure if she was going to be able to represent, given that she had some injuries leading up to this game, but happy to say Leila Ban is also the spirit captain of the Philippines to be able to compete and be part of this inaugural SEA Games demo sport feature of Ultimate.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to force these players out of this opportunity. They can be down to, a single leg, a single arm. They are going to play. This is SEA Games. It doesn't get bigger than this in the sport, and especially in the history and future of the sport. We are at a pivotal moment, and I am absolutely so happy to be here with you, John.
Happy at that, and looks like Philippines will look to try to see if they can recover or not recover, but try to increase the margin here as they're up 3 with a score of 4.
And the pull goes out of bounds. Indonesia will go ahead and take it to the brick mark. We got Booty picking that up. And he has warned us to watch for his hammers. So we got to be ready for him sending some upside down throws down the field. I want to see it. Now's as good a time as ever. Let's see it. What you got?
And here's number 11, or 77 rather, Randy Tulus, Pambudi. Pambudi dumps it to Salim. Salim. Oh, great marking for the Philippines to deny that initial cut. Sends it over to number 2, JJ. Wandikbo. Gives it to number 93, Raymond Salim. You can see a little bit of a poach from Aban, denying those passes forward.
Yeah, Philippines have changed up the D a little bit here. They had a couple poachers trying something new, doing a little experimenting right here, clogging up that lane. And we had a little bit of a discussion right now. This is going up. And the Philippines take it over. They consider the huck, do not go downfield. They're going to work to the middle of the field. Very close to JJ trying to get that D.
Here's Cortez. Cortez opts to give it to Sumbi. Sumbi Jr. Sumbi sends it to Rodil. Rodil gives it to Guerrero. And Guerrero quickly sends it to Sumbi Jr. for the score. Philippines up big with a score of 5.
Yep, we got 5-1 Philippines. Indonesia was with them, was with their players every step of the way, just not quite close enough. Philippines working it down the sideline, outrunning Indonesia by just enough to have the open players out there. Philippines are fast. It's going to be a tough one for Indonesia. But Indonesia is hanging in there right now, doing well. It's going to be halftime at 7 if we get to there. So yeah, we got a good battle so far. We see JJ talking on the sideline to one of the Indonesia staff over there. JJ's from Papua, the only player from Papua down to Papua, playing for the Indonesia team this time. If you don't know, Indonesia is a country of 17 to 18,000 islands. So getting this team together and being able to practice is very, very difficult. But the people in Papua were very excited to have a representative of their island play. They all had T-shirts as he left, Team J&J in effect. And so what I got to say to that is, Semangat Indonesia.
Semangat Indonesia. as they would say, is a term of fighting spirit for the Indonesian team. As they will as Philippines look to initiate the pull again. Here's number 3, Lundardi. Keeps it to Fabrina. Lundardi gets it back. Gives it to Sotanto. Sotanto, cheeky pass right in between the Philippine defender. Comparsa. Looking for some options. 27 fakes that, Jalil does. Chuo's right there tailing against number 12 with that City. And number 23, backhand. Oh, amazing reach by number 27, Jalil. And he sends it in to number 3, Sorsor Jojo, for the second score of Indonesia.
Yeah, just as called. Nanda to Booty right there. A couple of their stars, a couple of their top players. And for Indonesia, that's what they're going to want to do. Get it through their experience, guys. Get some points on the board. And there's some athleticism right there. Like I said, a lot of these athletes for Indonesia are not to be messed with. They don't play around too much. I know Philippines have a 3-point lead right now, but these folks can play.
And that was Sorso Jojo, or known simply as Booty, one of the eldest players in this team at the young age of 32 years old. Definitely likes to watch a lot of European football. Is a big fan of Manchester United. So I'd like to say he likes Spain because I'm sure it's very hard to be a Manchester United fan, given how, well, I have a few friends that are Man United fans, and they tell it's very hard to root for a team like Man United.
We'll try not to hold it against them. We all have our flaws.
Part of the team of Scab, or Santa Clara Altered Beast and Absolute Zero. And it's actually a consulting manager at Visa, so good to have him here representing Indonesia.
All right, short pull comes up short of the brick mark. Philippines takes over.
Here's Awid. Gives it down the middle to Takumos. Peralta. To Ramos. Gives it back to Takumos. Takumos. All the way to the other side to Cortez. Great movement from the Philippines to swing it from side to side and maximize the usage of the field. And here's Takumos. Opts to dump it to Peralta and gets it back quickly. Or actually, that's Awid. Peralta to Chua. And Awid calmly puts it in for the score. Philippines 6.
Indonesia right there trying a little bit of force middle to trying to cut off that flow going to the outside. Key to breaking that is getting that little flow break throw off before your marker's able to get in place right there. And that's what they're able to do right now. And if you're able to get it underneath that marker, then you're going to find success. Once again, I like Indonesia changing it up, trying different things on defense. If I had to face this Filipino squad, I don't know what I would do. They are beasts, great athletes, and great skilled players. Indonesia is doing their best, hanging with them as best they can. Big props to the coaching squad, Aaron and Jacob over there at Indonesia, doing great work with this very new team.
Yes, I mean, Philippines is not a country you don't want to take lightly for sure. Philippines has been in and out in the World Games representing flag and country. So, pretty sure that's top of mind for Indonesia as they continuously battle against this strong nation.
So, John, if you're the Philippines right here, you're a big favorite in this one. How are you handling a game like this? What are you trying to get out of a matchup like this?
I think from a matchup out like this, it's really about just refining, your skills and refining the match. As we see someone shooting deep from Indonesia, trying to catch them off guard, and that's number 27, and will turn back there, but a sorry turnover from Indonesia just after an excellent hawk early. But just to answer your question back there, Jared, I think it's just really about trying to go back to your roots in terms of execution, right? I mean, I think something that they can learn from the last game is really about executing under uncharacteristic situations, especially in that zone defense. So I think that's what you want to take away from this game as you approach some of your round robin games.
Absolutely. Use this as a time to get better. Clean up some of that holes, clip some of those holes. Philippines working it on the goal line, red zone offense. That's what you want to see as well. A little bit of a risky throw, a couple before that. You can see Jacob coming onto the field for Indonesia, nodding his head. He's satisfied with that as a defensive stand right there. You just want to make it a little bit tougher for the Philippines. That's what Indonesia was able to do. That takes us to 7-2, and that will take us to halftime.
An excellent start in their second game for Philippines. And we'll be back after a short break and halftime here for the round robin games. We look at that replay live from the KMITL Stadium. This is the Flying Disc Games Ultimate, the 33rd Southeast Asian Games. and storm a second half comeback. And this next round robin games here live.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of adjustments Indonesia is going to come out with, try to get on the board against a strong Philippine squad. It's going to start on the defensive end as they are pulling to the Philippines.
And here is Philippines, Takumos. Gonna stick a match person defense. Someone streaking deep from Philippines, but opts to reset down the middle to Awid. Oh, Guerrero was quite open there from the Philippines, but not sure. Opted to swing it to Peralta instead. Here's Awid. Awid. Ramos swings to the other side. Lay out attempt. No good from Indonesia. Dakumos.
Indonesia doing a good job forcing them back. JJ with the big bid trying to take that away. Philippines back on the sideline. Philippines being very patient, getting the disc across the field, waiting for a big opening, which they have found.
And it just floats right into the hands of Lamigo for the score, opening up the second half for the Philippines, the score of 8.
That Lamigo was held off the scoreboard in the first game. Good to see her getting back up there, being able to take a lead of a whole bunch of steps on number 66, and a pretty easy clap catch at the end. Philippines go up 8-2 and will pull to Indonesia.
I'm just getting some thoughts from how the Philippines have recovered from the last game, and just getting some insights where they just really regrouped after that game, right? Just really, both the O-line, D-line had their separate talks in circles, and where, they felt that they were just overthinking a lot of their points during that game. It felt like they want to regroup and think that no one's watching. They just treat it like any normal game or normal training. So that's the instructions that they've got. And so far, what we've seen, it looks like they're much more calmer, much more collected, and much more decisive in what they want to go in each point that they are on the field.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see a little bit more intensity coming out here. I know they don't want to be tiring themselves out. They do have one more game today, but it's going to be a battle that they got later on. So I'd like them to see them go a little bit harder this game. They are very relaxed. It's very nice to see. The heart rate is down. I'd like to see them pick it up just a little bit to keep that intensity up, to be able to take out their next game later on, which, to be honest, I don't have the schedule here. I'm not sure who it is.
It will be Thailand, actually, which I feel that they will have their hearts racing for sure once they get up against the home crowd. But see, number 11, Helen Fabrina, will start the handler action for the Philippines, for Indonesia rather. She start at the brick mark. Fabrina gives it to Jalil. Jalil, just overshoots the pass to his teammate, number 3, Sorsorot Jojo. And here's Guerrero from the Philippines. Gives it to Hortelano. Hortelano to Sumbi. Sumbi had his eyes to Hortelano the whole time and gives the Philippines their 9th score. Easy pickings for the Philippines.
Yeah, that is an area that I would like to see them relax, that they did exactly right there, taking their time, breathing, putting the disc in, finding absolute open passes. No need to throw anything too difficult. That's a walk in the park right there. Everyone knows the score. Indonesians with their hands up. Filipinos with their hands up. Everyone agrees. Very much a score. 9-2 Philippines up over Indonesia right now. And I think for the Indonesian team, we're back in learning mode, trying to improve, trying to get better. Very tough schedule, having to face the number 1 and 2 seed right off the bat. But for a team like Indonesia, that's actually more of a blessing than a curse, being able to face these top teams. Number one, to be able to see what the best of the best in our region can do, but also to play in some games that they weren't necessarily expected to win anyway, but they can use these moments as learning points, and I think Jacob and Aaron see that very clearly.
And yes, definitely for Indonesia again. I just want to put the sport right in the map in their country. So just being able to get the go signal that they can compete for a spot of in this demo sport for flying disc or ultimate rather. So and that's all we ask really, right? In this as we showcase, ultimate as part of the flying disc sport here in SEA Games. You just really get that recognition from different peoples all over the world to see how amazing this sport is um, all across the world.
And I'm very excited to get the rest of Southeast Asia involved here. We only have 5 countries in this one. I'm excited to have Vietnam join, Brunei join, Cambodia join, Laos, Burma, East Timor. So much fun. All these places do have ultimate communities, and I'm so excited for them to be able to join the SEA Games as soon as possible.
And it looks like a miscommunication between number 77 of Indonesia, Randy Tulus, not expecting that pass to him. This gives Philippines another chance for a break opportunity. Villanueva. Oh, an amazing bladey forehand pass, just out of reach of Army Saludis' hands.
That throw itself has been pretty successful for the Philippines, working to these great athletes. Up to them if they think that's a little too high risk. Not sure what Coach Felix is going to think about that. But with athletes, like they have in the Philippines, they are never going to say no to someone running away with steps and, in the end zone. Very hard to say no to that. But that was a hard catch. That was going to be a hard reception.
Here's number 93. Oh, trying to make a bid to keep that disc alive. But Philippines literally at the edge of the end zone and gets a score. Give them their 10th point as they continuously run away with this game. Hortelano with the second score.
And that's just execution right there. But it's not something that Indonesia can look back and say they really did anything wrong. They made the right throw. There was an open dump there. It just didn't work out. It was just execution right there. That's just about getting better. That was a perfect decision. Nothing wrong with that. And the Philippines do what the Philippines do. Go ahead and punish you after that turnover. Too close to the end zone. It looks like we're going to go to a timeout.
That was Hortelano's second score. 27 of age. He's part of the local Philippine team, Witches Ultimate Flapon. Has worked with has represented the Philippines in numerous occasions worldwide. So it's good to see, as we can see Indonesia with a timeout to regroup, get more points on the board. As you can see, Coach Felix Angge giving instructions to his team, joined together with Kenneth Guzman.
And even though I have to point her out after a mistake, I want to give props to Florence Armin there. She's been a stalwart in this region for a long time. Has played with the Black Widows, now in U.S. based, I believe. A big advocate for women's ultimate in the region. If you haven't heard the Black Widows, it is a pan-Southeast Asian women's team that's traveled to numerous tournaments around the world and have done great work in promoting women's ultimate in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I met her way back, well, actually this year when we did volunteer for the Asia Oceanic in Guts Championship in Japan. Extremely good vibe person. Really enjoyed, being able to meet her and catch up, and was able to say hi to her before the start of the game. So it's good that she's here representing Indonesia. I've talked to her about how exciting their country is about this opportunity, and also good to see her promote more of the Black Widows and the female matching players in terms of promoting the sport within the female contingent.
Absolutely a great ambassador for the game. And we are out of timeout. Like Angelique wanders over to the disc and looks about ready to pull.
It's exciting to see how, the games unfold as we approach the second half of the end of the round robin games for day one. I'm just really excited about where our sport has come about in terms of being featured here in the SEA Games, right? We were part of that team meeting where Robert, the WIFTF president, talked about, the future of Ultimate. And I mean, one thing that really resonated with me is how he talked about, building our sport through the youth program with not just with organized Ultimate, but getting the younger kids involved, like clinics in schools, giving out freebies so that you can get more interest from the kids and be more, garner more of the younger kids to say, hey, Ultimate is fun, something you guys can just quickly buy a disc out of a normal sports car and play around in the parks and beaches when you have that chance.
Yeah, anyone who's been around kids and been around discs know that kids like discs. All you got to do is put a disc down, they're going to pick it up and throw it and go get it and throw it again just to see what it does. And they're going to turn it over and they're going to throw it upside down and they're going to throw something that looks like a forehand, something that throws that flies like a backhand, and they are just going to love on it. And the key is getting discs in the hands of kids. If you have kids and you want them to have discs, call your local Ultimate organization and they will set you up.
An amazing leaping ability from Max Sumbi to deny Indonesia's third score. Gives it back to Philippines. Quick 1-2 action between Aban and Rodil. It looks like Remigio. This pass was a little behind for Rodil's liking. Gives Indonesia a chance to get their third point.
Philippines coming out in a bit of a cup here right off the turn. Trying something a little different. Indonesia's caught up there. They're going to throw something bladey, and there's only blue shirts around that.
It looks like a female matching player from the Philippines had a hand on that disc. As the pass was attempted, it looks like Guerrero will launch it in to Cortez, giving Philippines their 11th point.
Angelica, very much one of the more experienced players on this team. She's found her way onto Philippine national teams for the last 10 years at this point. Played with Pancake, and is she moved over to Sunken at this point?
She's in single gender nationals. She usually plays for Sunken Pleasure, but most of the time she's still with her home team in Pancake, especially in the mixed division. So, but yeah, I'd love to see her. Love to see her here playing representing flag and country, and she's always been one of the most steadiest players in the nation. As you can see, the Filipino contingent supporting, the country as they bid their chance to get their first gold medal here in the Southeast Asian Games.
Yeah, definitely kind of walking around the stands. There's a whole really sizable Philippine contingent here. A lot of different countries being supported. Of course, there's a lot of Thai fans here as well. This is just a beautiful, fun event. A lot of folks in the stands enjoying the action. And no place I would rather be.
I mean, exactly that. I mean, and exciting that we're using this chance of being a demo sport in Southeast Asian Games to get closer to our goal, which is obviously to be part of the Olympic Games in the future, right? And this is just the right step into that direction, right? Especially, I mean, obviously we definitely are sad of the loss of our former Secretary General Volker Bernardi in the past. His leadership really shaped, really helped shape WIFD's governance structures and anti-doping programs. But being able where WIFD able to get Jonathan Rigby back on board, where someone that's outside of Ultimate but knows how to, I would say, knows how to build, programs in terms of making the sport much more prominent outside of looking at the commercial success and how to get, the non-Frisbee players getting interest in the sport. So very excited of where WIFD is going as an organization to, showcase Ultimate Frisbee, what it's all about.
And I think one very important point in the development of the sport is that it needs to cease being about the people and be able to go on when personnel changes, and that's what we're seeing with the evolution here. That we make progress, we change personnel for one reason or another. Rest in peace, Volker. But we're able to move on and continue the work that we do. That it doesn't have to end with the people when they leave us. So this is great to see our continued growth. This is a huge step in our progress, and we will see where it leads us.
And a little over 50 minutes have already elapsed in the game duration. Let's see if Indonesia can get their third point. But this is progress nonetheless after that game that Indonesia had with Singapore. So having a second point is progress nonetheless. I mean, I've been part of some teams where we went up against, really strong teams, and just being able to it's really about progress in these in these tournaments, right? It's really about not getting the wins, but just seeing how your team progresses, improves as the game goes on. And so exciting to see Indonesia being able to get their second point and get a lot more reps in.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're going to be learning how to play against the zone, because the Philippines are coming out in a cup. We see 5 people. We have 3 people following the disc, but 3 more right behind it. 6 people on the screen right here. Let's see how Philippines work through. They do have some experienced players here, and they have found a spot. Now can they get the disc up the field? Very patient so far. Commentator curse.
It looks like the wind pushed that disc down, forcing that turnover. And there you go with Philippines with their 12th point, just a point away from calling it a day. Hortelana again with his 3rd point. I think so without looking at the stat sheets.
Well, I hope they're not going to call it a day, because they actually have one more game today against Thailand. So I hope they stick around for a little bit longer, depending whatever happens in this game. Beautiful patience right here. One little pump fake. JJ runs by. Other defender runs by. And right into Hortolano's hands. That's what I like to see from the end zone offense right there. No rush. Get the disc. Let the opponent show you where the space is to throw it into. Jacob's still teaching. Still much to be learned. Still skills and strategies to learn. A constant process.
And you have here on the screen Christian Guerrero. At the young age of 42, still being able to represent the Philippines in these World Games, now here in the Southeast Asia Games.
Do we worry about him throwing out his shoulder when he's pulling? Well, with that wide pull, we don't expect to see Christian in the disc golf competition coming up starting tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure if Christian Gregor hears that from you, I'm sure the competitive side will kick in and say, hey, I would like to prove you wrong, Jared. So.
Oh, I know he would. I know it. I would love to see it.
It looks like stoppage of play. It looks like foul is going to be called by Edgar Sumbi on that pass.
I would say in the closing of this game, this kind of notes something that is important right here. Whatever happens, Philippines do not want to get anyone hurt right now. Very, very important. They stay on their feet. Be careful. They know they got a lot of ultimate to play this, not this weekend. I'm so used to saying this weekend. Today and tomorrow here at the SEA Games.
Oh, great run-through defense from Edgar Sumbi. And he's going to get the bookend score, giving Philippines their first win.
And that is game 13-2. Sumbi takes it down. And I'll say, you know, Indonesia has nothing to hang their heads about in that one. They battled hard. They were in the right position most of the time. This Philippines team is fast, athletic, smart, experienced. And Indonesia absolutely hung with them and should really hold their heads up high after this performance. I mean, especially because they got a couple more games, at least a couple more games left in this competition, and I am excited to see them continue to improve.
And the Philippines run away with this game and wrap up their second game this round-robin match. Great way to recover from their first match against Singapore, and Indonesia still looking for their first win. With all smiles, as mentioned, from the Indonesian team. And see how they round off their games as we continue to keep the games live here, the live coverage here at the KMITL Stadium for the first time flying these games for Ultimate live here in Bangkok at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games. And we'll be back after a short break. Stay tuned.